Hello, welcome to Dungeons Podcast. I'm your host Justin. So it's been a while since I've done a movie review, and unfortunately, uh, I wasn't really in the mood to watch a movie other than comedies, and this was like a movie I found that I really wanted to watch again, which is obviously by the title Hoodwinked, which is a 2005. Though some places say it's 2007. I'm going to believe the 2005 just by looking at looking at the animation. It's a 2005 family comedy. It's an hour 21 minutes. It's directed by Corey Edwards, story by Corey Edwards and Todd Edwards. Wow, this had a budget of 30 million. Oh my god. I'm guessing they spent most of that on the cast because you look at the animation and it's pretty bad. Even by 2005 standards, it was pretty bad. You got Patrick Warburton as the Big Bad Wolf. Corey Edwards, it's the brother of the director, as Twitchy. Glenn Close, didn't even sound like Glenn Close, but whatever. As Granny Puckett. Andy Dick as Biongo. David Ogden Stiers as Nicky Flippers, who you'll know him as the dad from Better Off Dead. So which is funny because in this movie he does this like British accent, and he kind of looks like that Perot guy from that BBC mystery show. I think it was Perot. It's like that was like based off the Agatha Christie books, I think. And you have Anne Hathaway's Little Red Riding Hood. Also, you got like Xzibit as Grizzly, and Anthony Anderson as the Stork. And like, there's like a bunch of random people as different characters in the movie. You got like Tom Kennedy as one guy. So, what this movie is about? It's kind of like a parody on Grimm fairy tales, and like it in the beginning of the film, it kind of follows the story of Little Red Riding Hood, but at the same time they're setting up this story where like you have in the forest, pretty much all the businesses of this forest, which is basically a town, which a lot of the people are critters, but some of the critters are like are people, and some of the people are wearing animal suits, so trying to fit in with the critters. So it was like, what the fuck was that about? Well, I probably should swear in a family film review. Oh well. Yeah. So like, yeah. Yeah, they set up this plot line where like, which is obviously the main plot, where like people's like recipes are being stolen, and because their recipes are being stolen, a lot of their businesses are going down, which all the businesses are like bakeries and sweets and shit like that, candy shops, because critters have a sweet tooth, even though pretty sure you feed sugar to any kind of wild animal, they're gonna die probably. They're gonna shit themselves to death. But whatever, right? Whatever, that's the story. So yeah, it follows Little Red Riding Hood on her way to Grandma's house. When she gets there, she sees like the Big Bad Wolf in like a granny disguise, and it kind of follows follows the original story in the first like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I would say. And what ends up happening is like, he reveals himself. Granny is tied up in the closet. She bursts out, and a woodsman, voice acted by John Belushi, Kurt Woodsman, busts into the place with an axe, right? So after that, what ends up happening is the cops show up, which is like which are all animal humanoids in like police outfits. You have paparazzi. They show up, arrest everybody, and are questioning them. And what happens? Nicky Flippers, which is a frog character, obviously based off the Perot Perot guy, however you pronounce his name, from the Agatha Christie murder mysteries, shows up with his dog, which the dog is like on a leash, and like once he starts interviewing, the dog pulls out a typewriter, is like taking notes on what people are saying. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So like after that, we hear everybody's different stories. Um, and Hathaway, his character Little Red Riding Hood, is sick of living in the forest and being a delivery girl for her grandma's like uh, pastry business. Patrick Warburton's character, the Big Bad Wolf, is a journalist with a crackhead squirrel as a sidekick, who's trying to find out who's stealing all the recipes. He thinks Granny Puckett did it. After that, we get introduced to the third story. What was that? The first story was the Kurt Woodsman character, who's actually an actor who was researching a role, whose schnitzel truck, which that was a funny scene. Like you have John Belushi's doing like a German accent, and like there's like a song in the movie where he's like selling schnitzel to German kids, but his truck gets robbed, and they even took the tires off and like and stripped the engine. Oh, what the hell? Like putting him out of a job. But he gets like a call back. He failed, like you see him get like a audition for like some commercial, Paul Bunyan like foot cream or whatever, which is obvious. That was obviously based off like a folk tale or whatever. Fucking Grim Fairy. Other. I think Paul Bunyan's character was based off a fairy tale. There's a lot of references to that, and there's even some out-of-dated pop culture references where you get to Granny Puckett's story, and it turns out while she pretends to be a little nice old grandma with her pastry business, she's actually goes by a different name, Triple G, which is obviously a reference to Triple X, which was so dumb. There's a lot of like 90s and like late 90s, early 2000s humor in this movie, which makes me think this script took a while to get this movie made, because like a lot of like kind of like outdated references and music in this movie, which there's parody songs of like early 2000s like pop rock and shit, which I actually really enjoyed the soundtrack because it was like it sounded like knockoff like versions of bands I used to listen to as a kid. Like I think there's a song that almost sounds like a Wheatus song, and like I almost wonder if they just got Wheatus and fucking and had them do a parody song. I need to check the soundtrack for this movie, right? Yeah, like turns out she's an extreme skier slash snowboarder. She's really into extreme like snow sports, which I don't really find skiing that extreme, but whatever. Compared to snowboarding, no, but whatever. Skiing still looks dangerous as fuck, but it's like, I don't know, man. It doesn't look as cool as snowboarding, right? Yeah, so there's like a scene where she's going her team of rap enthusiasts critters, where there's even a scene where there's a polar bear who she's friends with, and I think he was voice acted by Kevin Michael Richardson, or it could be just another famous black voice actor. I don't know, but he sounds familiar. And then you got to hear Glenn Close say, "For shizzle mind this," like stupid shit like that. And it's like, oh my god, so cringe. Because even if a black guy said "For shizzle mind this," that would still be cringe. But it's like, oh my god, it even sounds more cringe from an old lady saying that. Yeah, so they go off against this all human ski team where like the main guy kind of looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they turn out to be the henchmen of the bandit, and they kind of reveal who the bandit is 30 minutes in the movie. Because there's like this one side character. I'm not gonna say who, but like there's this one side character that's in like all the different stories. So like halfway through the movie, right? Halfway through the movie is that character gets revealed to be the bad guy, and our other characters teaming up to try to take down the main bad guy. And there's even like a really cringy like kung fu fight scene, like Matrix style kung fu fight scene between the bad guy and like Little Red Riding Hood, because she's like a karate expert and shit. But like overall, I did enjoy the movie. I love the references and the soundtrack and the voice acting. I thought was really good. Like, and though I felt like Nikki Flipper's character like probably could have used more screen time, and would have been nice if he was more, you know, like active in the movie. But I guess he did kind of help capture the bad guys at the end of the movie. And yeah, it is what. Also, there's this singing goat character who's like really funny, by the way. And like he has this like song in the movie that's like pretty good. I kind of like that character. So overall, despite the dated CGI and references, I really enjoyed this movie. I gotta admit, I have some nostalgia for the movie because not just because of the references and stuff like that, but like because the first time I watched this movie was like over a sleepover at my cousin's house. We watched a bunch of movies, and I watched this movie the first time. I really enjoyed the film. When the sequel, which came out like 5 or 6 years later, came out, I was super excited to see it. And it was like, I thought it was just okay, but like, yeah, there is a sequel to this film. So I am kind of biased, but I guess I love this animated film. I'm giving it like a 7 out of 10. I think by 7 out of 10, I mean like it's good for like a kid's family film, right? Yeah. So like, is this better than something like, you know, like other movies where I gave it like 6 or 5? Probably not. I'm just saying, as a kid's family film, I found this highly enjoyable, and I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Right. Oh, and I also love how Patrick Warburton's Big Bad Wolf character, who's like super sarcastic. Super sarcastic. Like, there's a scene where like he goes to talk to an informant, which was like a sheep, right? And after meeting up with the informant, right, he goes to Twitchy. Man, talking with that sheep has got me hungry. Let's go get some food after this. Which is, I don't know. I thought that was a very hilarious and kind of dark joke if you think about it. All right, guys, that's it for this review. Later.